Hi everyone. Today we're going to put a little tree in a bracelet hoop. It's very simple and I'll show you how to do it. So what you need is a bracelet. I do have a playlist where I purchased them. I purchased them on Amazon and you'll find it in that playlist with many other things that I use. So what we use for this particular bracelet is 22 gauge wire. This is the one that I use. I like it a lot. Now what I've done is I've cut 12 pieces of wire 14 inches long, which is perfect for this simple little tree of life in a bracelet hoop. Now we're going to take all 12 wires and we're going to put them on the hoop. The way I like to do it, I like to fold my wire in half like that, bring it down into like a little point, put it through the hoop. Always hold on to your work. Bring these two wires up, bring them through that little hoop. Don't let go of that now with your thumb right here. Even when you're pulling it, just give it a tug. Always hold on to it with the finger, the thumb, however you can. Give it a tug like that, and we're going to twist out our root. I think for this tree, if you do it loosely, like 5 or so, you'll be able to figure out how tight you twist, but you want to leave room for your root, your trunk, your limbs, and most important, your seed beads or crystals or whatever you decide to use in your little tree. Now, if you choose not to use a slip knot, you can achieve the same way of putting your wire on without the slip knot. What you do is just take your wire, bring it through your hoop like this, and then twist this on. The difference is that when you do it with the slip knot, there are 2 little wires and they are separated, and I like it because it leaves a nice little fan look on my root. Either way, it'll be beautiful. So I'm going to continue putting on a slip knot because that's my preference until I get all 12 on my hoop. And just give it a tug. The wire is stiff. You can just push down on it, give it a little pull, and put in your little twists. If you're happy with the first one, that's a perfect guide for everyone that you put on after that. They don't have to be perfect. They're roots. It'll be beautiful. So again, just fold it in half. Give it a little. This can also work with 24 gauge wire. It's a little bit softer and you'll get the same result. Might be a little bit easier to work with. So it's up to you. I will put a 24 gauge onto a bracelet and I'll post it right here on this playlist just for everybody who's new to my channel and wants to learn from the beginning, just as I have. And this one is for you. One of my viewers requested that I do this. So what I'm going to do is add on to this playlist every opportunity that I have to create something that you can use as a guide on your journey to making your beautiful tree of life. Whether it is in a bracelet or a 4-inch hoop, this is where you're going to learn it all. I'll show you how. Just push them together. Now, what you might want to do when you first start with any hoop is find where it connects. These bracelets are really good. I've not had a problem, and I've been doing this for over 10 years. If you can find it, sometimes you can't. I like to put it so that it is to the left or right of my wires on the hoop, only because now this one is right here. If I have to slide them, I don't want to have the, in the rare occasion that it gets stuck. I like to be able to move my branches around. So that's just something to keep in mind. Okay, we're just going to carry right on. I always do like to try and just match up my ends. And then just bring it down. You don't have to be too fancy. Just bring it through and take those two ends. Pass it through that hoop that you just made. Again, it's always good to support your work. You can use your finger and just tighten it up if it doesn't help with the tug. Like I said, this is 22 gauge wire. 24 is also a good option for this size hoop. And this is what I use for a 24 gauge. And I will make one the same as this in a bracelet to show you the difference. To give you an idea, you can see this is very flexible. I will put that in this playlist. I want you to succeed if you choose to do this as your craft, because you'll have hours and hours of relaxation, enjoyment, and also if you follow me, we have a lot of fun here. I'm a little crazy, but that's okay, just a little, and I like to have fun. So welcome to my channel. I don't edit, I show you how it's done. I do make mistakes, and when I make them, I show you how to fix it. I keep it real. I always support it with my index finger and my thumb. Whether I'm twisting or beading, I always support my work. You'll hear me say it often. And if this seems like it's not going to go down with the slip knot, it will. Just give it a good tug, and if it needs some help, just push it down. Like I said, this is much stiffer than the 24 gauge. You'll decide which way you want to go. I use both wires, and I prefer the 22 gauge, especially in a 4 or 5 inch hoop, for its stability. Just going to count really quick to make sure I have 12. They're not all on the hoop yet. And I do. I simply hold it while I twist, and I put my finger behind the wires, and I use the tip of my thumb just to kind of like separate it and give an even twist, just like that. just slide it on. Like that. Give it a tug. Sorry, I put cream on my hands and I'm slipping. Okay, now because you used a slip knot, or if you do use a slip knot, that is one wide bunch of roots. For this little hoop, I choose to push them just to make them a little bit closer together. In a larger hoop, 4, 5, 6, 8, whatever hoop I choose to use, which we will get into, I don't like to push them together so much. It has to be unison to the size of your hoop, and I think that right there is lovely. So what I'm going to do now is put 6 on the left and 6 on the right. I always count twice because I make mistakes too. And it's not really a mistake, it just makes it a little bit more challenging than it needs to be to separate your wire for branches. Okay, like that. What you're going to do here, this is what I'm doing, I'm just moving them around. I've crisscrossed them and I'm holding on to them with my finger in between and my thumb right there, just to move my little roots into a position that I think that they look pretty. And I think they look pretty good, just like that. So now, very tightly, I'm going to hold there, and I'm going to twist to make my tree trunk. And I'm going to keep on holding that because I'm twisting this very tight. And then I like to stop and take a look at it. I can tell already that it needs at least one more. And now I'm going to open it up and show you what it looks like. So I want to have enough room to make my branches and have room for my beads. I kept the roots kind of small to fit the size of the hoop. The same with the trunk. You don't want a little tiny trunk with big roots or a long trunk and no room for branches. So I think that's pretty good. I could go again, but I think I'll pass. So now what I'm going to do, really easy. I'm going to take 4 wires from the left. There's 2, 3, 4. If it doesn't look like it belongs, push it back and take another one. You don't want them to crisscross. So there's 4, and I'm going to take 4 from the right. And there's 4. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my work right here, right at the top of the trunk. And I'm going to cross them over once. That's not a full twist. That's just crossing them over. And continue. That's a full twist. Now that you have the 4 and 4, we're going to do it again. We're going to take 4 on the left and 4 on the right. Same thing, support your work tightly and cross them over. That's not a full turn. That's just a half a twist. And then twist it tightly, and now do the same on the other side of your hoop. Take 4 on the left and 4 on the right. Turn your work, hold it right there. Now, that's a crossover, it's not a twist. Complete your twist by turning it all the way around. Now, your tree looks like this. That's pretty easy. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing all the way around. We're going to take the 4 wires and we're going to separate them into 2 and 2. Pretty easy. Support your work right where that twist is. Cross them over and then do it again. So you have one full twist. Now go to your next set of 4. Separate them into 2 and 2. support that work right there on your limb. Cross them over one time and complete it with another complete turn. And do the next. Take your 4 wires, if they're crisscrossed like mine are, just separate them so that they don't crisscross. It'll look better. And separate them with your thumb or your finger. Hold on to your work. Cross them over, still holding on very tight. And then do it again for one complete turn. What this is doing is it's setting up each new branch. Again, separate your 4 wires into 2 and 2. Cross them over like that, nice and tight. Hold on to your work and do a complete turn. There you go. You're going to do it again right here. 4 and 4. Split it in half like this. Now, cross them over and do it one more time for a complete twist, like that. This helps you keep your wires separate, and if you need to add more twists as you go, your tree will let you know. If you'd like your branches longer or shorter, it's your tree. Twist it however you'd like. Support your work. Use your finger and your thumb. Cross those wires over and do it again. Now, what you've done is you've made sections on your hoop of 2 and 2. Now, what we're going to do is the same thing we've done, but this time we're going to take these two and separate them, and we're going to put a few twists in, like that, because we're going to add beads. We don't want to do too many, and that's what we're going to do all the way around our hoop. Take those two, hold on to your work, and twist them. You can use the previous one as a guide, like I have right here. As you get higher up, you may need to change it and add a few more twists. Your tree will let you know what it wants to do and how you would like your tree to look. Cross them over and twist a few twists, just like that. And then go to your next two. 4 wires complete one section. There are 8 wires in each section. Now we're going to complete this section the same way we did these previous 3 branches. Just put in a few little twists like this. And now we have sections of 2. We're going to continue that until we get to the other side of our tree. So now we're going to take these 2 wires again, separate them, support your work right there, and put in some twists like that. And we're going to just keep right on doing that. Gets a little tricky to hold, but you get your fingers in there however you have to, just so you can support your work here. Otherwise it'll buckle up, and I don't think you'll like it. Just put in a few twists, nice and tight, little ones, just like that. I try to pull my wires out so they don't get tangled as badly. They'll get tangled, but it's okay. Support your work. There you go. A few little twists, and you're ready for the next section of 2. Support your work. Put in a few twists. When you stop beading, you'll know if you need another twist or 2. You'll be able to tell. And we'll be doing another tree. We'll pick up right from here. This playlist is designed mostly just to get you started, to get your tree into a hoop, all the basics. Anything else, any project that I do, I will post, and I will try to be very informative as best I can. so that you're able to follow and make a tree of life with me. This is my craft, this is my passion, and my goal is to share it with you so that if you choose this, you will succeed. Okay, there we have it. We have completed twisting out this tree of life in a bracelet. Now that you have every branch twisted until you have 2 and 2, then 1 and 1. And that's it. That's the outline of your tree. And this is step 1. Step 2 is beading. And we'll find another video for that. Right now, this is just twisting it out. Stay tuned. We do lots of trees here.